I'm Katie Ziemann, California Fire Safe Council. I have a really fun job and work for a really fun organization because we give money away to folks like you and organizations like the North Topanga Canyon Fire Safe Council to do things to prevent and maybe reduce some of these hazards that Jay and Catherine were both talking about. I'll tell you a little bit about California Fire Safe Council. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so we're a private nonprofit. The lion's share of our funding for the past couple of years has been from USDA Forest Service, but in the past we have received some grant money from the National Park Service, Fish and Wildlife Service, and the Bureau of Land Management. And you're probably wondering, how does the North Topanga Canyon Fire Safe Council go about getting a grant through us, and how do we get this money in the first place? Well, in the state of California, we have what's called the California Fire Alliance. And the Fire Alliance is a multi-agency organization that got together in about 2001 with the National Fire Plan. That was a national ordinance that went out and actually allowed some congressional appropriations of federal funds to be brought to the state level to get on the ground quickly to try and mitigate some of these wildfire hazards. In the state of California, that money was moved through the California Fire Alliance, and California Fire Safe Council was the one that was designated as an organization that could act as a pass-through of these funds. So as it works for us, we get a large grant from the federal agencies. It comes to California Fire Safe Council, and with that large pot, we make smaller grants to organizations like Fire Safe Councils, fire departments, park departments, state departments as well. And that money just gets on the ground pretty quickly. It's a competitive process, so it's really exciting for North Topanga Canyon Fire Safe Council to be able to receive a grant, especially in a competitive year like the 2012 cycle, which is where they got their grant. Last year, we had about a little under 200 applications, and we only made about 40 grants out of that. So average grant is usually around $100,000. North Topanga's is a little under that, but certainly can do a lot with that money. What made a project like North Topanga's so competitive and so attractive to our reviewers was certainly, the level of collaboration. You see National Park Service here, LA County Fire. I've worked with these guys since I started with the Fire Safe Council for about 3 years. So, they definitely are out there meeting the people, working with the people and other organizations that will help them to show capacity to a review committee. And that was certainly something that helped them be awarded this grant. Also, they've been working, like I said, for 3 years since I've known them, and even before then, on kind of getting organized and building that organizational capacity to show that they can take something like federal money, which of course has federal strings, or nowadays it's more like federal ropes attached to it, and really be able to manage those funds well. I mean, we're all taxpayers in here, so we want to make sure that the money is being spent appropriately. So we want to be able to give the money to organizations that are going to be able to manage that money properly. So a lot of planning went into this, a lot of planning. They're getting ready to implement the project here, the on-the-ground project. But in addition to doing fuels treatment with this money, they've also been focusing on community education, which is really very important. We can remove fuel. Obviously, that's not a one-time deal. There's maintenance that has to come with it, and there's actually some personal responsibility too. This money's only going to go so far. So hopefully by educating and doing outreach within Topanga Canyon, residents like you will be able to step up and maybe decide to do some vegetation management on your own properties too. So the educational component has been great, and it's something that they've actually been able to do free of charge to the grant. So one thing I'll applaud the Fire Safe Council for is nearly meeting their match requirement for this grant just in about 3 quarters, so about 9 months' time. Before spending any of their grant funds, they've already met what we call this matching contribution requirement. You know, especially in the economy that we're in right now, we want to make sure that these federal dollars go as far as they can. And how Congress makes sure that happens is by putting on these match requirements with the grant dollars. So they've actually had to sign up to say that they were going to match the grant funds dollar for dollar, and they've almost met that already just by doing things like this. Your time sitting in these chairs actually helps them meet their match requirements, so thank you for showing up. But there's definitely, I can't applaud them enough. Like I said, I've been working with them for about 3 years. This is just the second project of its kind in Topanga Canyon, and I hope to see a lot more projects coming into the canyon, coming into LA County in the years to come, because you can do really good work, and it doesn't have to be moonscape. It doesn't have to be something that you're not comfortable with. You really want it to be good for the homeowner, good for the community, and then good for anyone else who uses that Route 27 on a daily, weekly basis. So I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Beth Burnam. I am the other co-president of the North Topanga Canyon Fire Safe Council. And once again, thank you for joining us this evening. As you learned from Ryan, this is the 4th lecture of our lecture series, all of which have been videotaped. And we are really, really thrilled to announce right now that the other 3 lectures, the first 3, are now all online on our website, NTCFSC.org. And so please check out those videos and also the other materials that we've put together on our website. We're really, really proud of what we've pulled together, and we think it's a lot of really interesting information for all of us, and actually for everyone who lives in a wildland-urban interface area. We also have, as you leave this evening, a bunch of literature outside, and you're welcome to take it. In particular, I'm interested in the situation with the oaks and the gold-spotted borer that is really, really aggressively invading from San Diego County, and what we can do to protect our oaks, because they are perhaps one of our most valuable resources here. So once again, our goal is to make Topanga a fire-adapted community. This is clearly not something that happens fast. It is a long-term project, and we're here for the long term, and we really are looking forward and enjoying working with our community. This is a community activity.